Okay, so going back. So our topic for today is all about the hypothesis testing. We can have for one and two samples later, no? Now, as we begin with our topic, our objectives here is to tandaan nyo sa hypothesis testing, we are making decisions not on hearsays or opinions, but rather in based on facts. Kaya we are using computations, no, to prove something or to make a conclusion. Kasi one of the goal of this is to make conclusions, and that is under the inferential statistics. Now, to determine that, gagamit tayo ng Z. Usually, ito, kapag yung N mo is greater than or equal to 30. Tapos ito naman, ginagamit natin kapag yung N mo is less than 30. Dito, meron ka tinatawag na degrees of freedom na yung N-1, no? Na pag-aaral natin mamaya. Then ito, ginagamit din natin to solve for the variance. Di ba? Variability. Tapos ito, standard deviation. Para yung mas mababa na standard deviation, mas consistent of a normal distribution. So we can test hypothesis even in population proportion or difference in the two population proportions. So, kaya pwede natin gamitin in one or two samples. Okay, now as we continue using the p-value approach, o ano ba ibig sabihin ng p-value? Yan yung magiging kumbaga approach natin to make decisions. Kapag nag-conduct ka ng hypothesis test, ba, gumamit ka ng t-test, gumamit ka ng z-test, gumamit ka ng ANOVA, ayan. So yan yung magiging ano natin, parameter to make decisions along with the critical value. Kaya mamaya we will be discussing yung mga errors na pwede nating ma-encounter and as well as yung mga yung tinatawag na level of confidence, yung significant level, no? Okay, now to begin with, what is statistical hypothesis? Pag sinabing hypothesis, statistics, dalawa kasi yan eh. May tinatawag tayo na null hypothesis. Ito yung sinasabi natin na claim. Usually, yung claim natin, no? Let's say this is the H sub O. Okay, kapag yung H sub A naman is most likely the alternative. Alternative hypothesis. So, ito naman yung yun yung complement of the null hypothesis. No? Now, we already know the statistical hypothesis can be also taught as a statement about the probability distribution of a random variable. As well, it is a statement about the parameters of one or more population. So, mamaya, no, I can give an example, no, wherein we can determine. Pag sinabi kasi null, yun yung kiniklaim talaga natin, no? At yung kabaliktaran nun, yun yung tinatawag na alternative. So, dito meron tayong example, no? I think dito sa part na ito, makikita natin sa next slide. Sabi dito, for the burning rate, for example, no? We are interested in deciding whether or not the mean burning rate is 50 cm per second. So, paano ito ni-express? So, express natin yung kanyang tinatawag na null hypothesis, the H sub O. Dito, clearly, dinedeclare natin na ito ay 50 cm per second. No, ibig sabihin, yan yung ating pinaka null hypothesis. Ito, guys, indicates ano yan, condition of equality. Ano ba yung mga examples of condition of equality? Example niyan, yung, halimbawa, yung less than or equal to, equal mismo, or greater than or equal to. No? Ibig sabihin, pag greater than or equal to, usually, ito ay salitang mga at most. Ito naman, pwede sabihin mga at least. Kasama yung number na yun, no? Pag sinabing at least. Bawa, at least 5. O pinakamababa yung 5 pataas. Pag sinabing at most 4, hanggang 4, no? Hindi na lalampas doon, no? Equal sign kung ano mismo yung value na yun. Now, yung etong ED sub A, masasabi natin, no, that the mu is not equal to 50. Kasi ito yung nagsasabi ng not equal. Kumbaga, ito yung inverter nito, ng ED sub O. Kaya basically, yan yung ating pwede nating masabi na mathematical expression when it comes to the statistical hypothesis. Okay, gaya na sinabi ko, ganyan yung nangyari. ED sub 1 is the ED sub A rather. Okay, yung ED sub O is the null, alternative yung ED sub 1 or ED sub A. Na meron tayong two-sided alternative, no? Because of the not equal. Kasi bakit two-sided? Pwede kasing ano yun eh. Pag sinabing not equal, pwedeng less than or greater than. Alin man sa dalawang ito, nag-indicate siya na not equal. Kaya dalawa yung magiging sign natin. Kaya kung titingin ka sa isang curve, let's say ito yung dalawang curve, o ito yung yung critical value natin. Kung ito yung magiging parang basis natin. So ito yung ayan, no? Yung mula dito hanggang doon, ito yung pwede masabi natin na rejected. No, mare-reject to pati ito. Rejected yan. Ito lang yung masasabi natin na ina-accept mo yung hypothesis. Kapag nasa in between ka ng range. Ngayon, kapag sinabi nating equal, less than or equal to, kasama yung number na yon. Pero kung sinabing less than, pag less than dito, pwedeng ma-reject or greater than. Kaya meron tayong dalawang sided ng ng alternative hypothesis, no? Basically, yan yung isa sa mga dapat nating maintindihan din when it comes to statistical hypothesis. Now, as we know, yan sinasabi ko kanina, pwedeng less than or greater than. Bakit? Kaya naging two-sided hypothesis, no? Now, it's important that hypotheses are equal statements, no, or always statements. Okay? So, about the population distribution and the study, not statement about the sample. Okay. If we will be asking, ano po ba yung magiging basis? Mas much as possible, population dapat. Unless i-state na itong sample is equal to the population. Okay. So, halimbawa dito, sa case na ito, no? Merong scenario dito eh. May N ka daw na specimen. And that sample mean is observed. The sample mean is estimated. Ito, sinasample dito na itong sample mean, okay, si sample mean daw ay equal to the true population. So, pwede nating kunin. No? So, ngayon, ito yung a value that sample mean that falls close to the hypothesis is mu is equal to 50. No? Okay? Does not conflict with the null hypothesis that the true mean is really 50 centimeter per second. But on the other hand, a sample mean that is differently. So ito yung nagsasabi naman ng alternative. So different eh. So yan nagsasabi ng alternative. Ngayon dito na merong binigay sa next slide na parang let's say ito naman ay given naman, no. Makikita nyo dito, no, yung part na ito yung fail to reject HO, yan yung tinatawag natin na acceptance region. No, acceptance region. Kasi you are failed to reject HO. Ito naman yung rejection or tinatawag natin na critical region, yung nasa part na ito. Okay, ngayon mathematically itong critical region parehas, no? Based dun sa ating drawing o ating diagram, mathematically, pwede mo siya ma-express into this one na nag-i-indicate ng less than. Kaya two-sided tayo eh, hypothesis. Kasi ito, nag-i-indicate to na parehas na yung mean mo is not equal, no, to your population mean. Isang less than at isang greater than. Now, ang tawag doon naman sa nag-fall between, let's say for example, meron kang 48.5, no? Kumbaga, kasama siya na naging range. Masasabi ko na ito yung equation ng isang nasa between the range or accepted region or acceptance region, no? Kaya as we continue in this matter, no, as we discuss this topic, anyway, dun sa mga nasa beyond the or under the critical region, these are rejected null hypothesis in favor for the alternative. Now, as we know, gaya na sabi ko nga, ito yung acceptance region kapag mathematically, yan yung expression. Yan yung nasa fall. Di ba kanina meron kang dito 48.5. Then ito yung 51.5. Yan yung region na yon. Kumbaga, mathematically, ito yung expression nun. Yan yung accepted o you fail to reject the hypothesis, the null hypothesis. Yan yung sinasabi natin, no? Now, the boundaries between the regions, no, and acceptance regions, so alam na natin. Now, meron tayong dalawang klase. Meron tayong type 1 error. Ito sabi dito, rejecting the null when it is true. Kumbaga sa dire-reject mo yung hypothesis na ito naman ay supported by facts, supported by data, but still you are kumbaga you are not accepting it. No, kumbaga nagde-deny ka pa rin or you are not accepting the truth even though it is truth. So that is type 1 error kasi you are rejecting the null hypothesis which is factual based on data. Bakit? Para natin nasabi when it is true. No? So yun ang ibig sabihin yan, no? Okay, parang yun you do not agree of that statement. For example lang to halimbawa, no, si institution ni ito, a school or a university. Okay, a university, let's say, claims, no, that 94% of their graduates find employment within 6 months. Ito guys, no, si university daw kini-claim that 94% of their graduates find employment within 6 months. So, what does it mean? Dito, hindi ka nag-agree na 94%. You do not believe, even though it is factual. That is called type 1 error. Now, ano naman yung type 2? Ito naman yung type 2 error. No? Mahalaga na malaman dito. Okay, itong type 2 error, as we know, failing to reject the null when it is false. Ito naman, you should be rejecting. Kasi failing to reject the null means accepting. Ang ibig sabihin niyan, accepting the null hypothesis. Pero ang problema lang kasi, false siya. Diba? So parang parang ganito. You believe doon sa facts na mali. So that is called type 2 error. Okay, example, the true mean burning rate is different from 50 centimeter per second. Yet, the sample mean falls in the acceptance region. So that case would fail to reject or you are accepting the null hypothesis when it is false. Kaya kung titignan natin sa table of decision making, which is very important, no? Kapag kayo ay nagde-decide, tingnan nyo to, no? Nagkakaroon lang tayo ng no error kapag you fail to reject or you accept that palito ito sa itang accept kung nalilito sa fail to reject. Accept HO when it is true. So, na error. Kailan po yung nagkakaroon ng error? Ito, reject HO when HO is false. So, no error yan. So, paano naman ang tawag kapag di-reject mo yung null, pero it is true sa type 1. Kapag naman you accept the null while it is false, type 2. And that is called the type 2 error. Okay, so I hope that is the second one. Okay, now this is the probability of type 1 error. So ano bang ibig sabihin yan? The alpha is equivalent to P at let's say P-type, no? Kung anong error, let's say type 1 error. Equivalent yan sa P, reject HO. Ibig sabihin, yun ang ibig sabihin yan, reject HO when HO is true. So that is an example of an alpha error. Ito tinatawag dito na alpha error. Or ang ibang tawag dyan yung significant level. Usually sa problem, binibigay naman yan. Example kasi ng mga significant level natin, halimbawa, meron tayong, ito yung common, 0.05, 0.01, meron din namang 0.10, no? O 5%, 1%, 10%. So, most likely, yan yung mga ginagamit natin as level of significance. Parang ano yan eh, may error margin, no? May error margin siya. Size of the test. Okay? So, no, guys, no? As we already know, halimbawa, in the propellant burning rate, a type 1 error will occur when either, so itong dalawang meaning to say, meron tayong greater than or pwedeng less than, when the true meaning burning rate easily is 50. Suppose that the standard deviation of burn is 2.5 and that the burning rate as a distribution of the sample mean is approximate normal with 50. So dito nakikita natin, no? Tapos yung kanyang standard deviation na kinukuha din naman natin is 0.79. So ano probability ng type 1 error? Yan ay equal to the sum of the areas that have been shaded in the tail. So kukunin mo yung ito. Meron tayo kasi dito for example, kukunin mo yung area dito. Okay, may mga finding the area under the curve. Okay, let's say ito yung ating critical value, no? Okay, kung kukunin mo yung area nito, what is the area? Then you will add, let's say ito naman. Okay, yun yung sabi, some of the areas that have been shaded in the tails of the normal distribution. So taking the summation of the areas, yun yung ating magiging pinaka standard the probability of making type 1 or level of significance. Okay, this is an example, no, na kung saan na nagkaroon tayo ng value ng alpha, usually si alpha. Yan din yung kapag inad mo kasi yan, yung 0.02, ito kasi area. Kumbaga nakuha ito yung area nito. Computed yan, no? Pwedeng sa integral, no? Computed din to. So, ayun, no? Kaya iba yung minumultiplied by 2, yun yung kanyang level of significance. Or minsan kinukuha yung buong curve, tapos iba minus yung dalawa. So, depende sa computation. Okay, so that is the concept, no, of the critical region. Now, as we further continue, no, in our discussion, ito naman, isa nag-sample na gumamit tayo ng test or the Z-test. Oo. Kasi halimbawa, kasi itong Z-scores natin, no, o Z-values. Okay, itong 48.5, yan yung kanina, kung naalala nyo, di ba ito yung 48.5. Ito yung 51.5. Ito yung mean na 50. Di ba? So, kapag nandito ka sa region na to, accepted. Pero kung nandito ka naman sa part na ito, will be rejected. Okay, so rejected tong part na ito. Dito ka lang mag-accept. Okay, now, let's say for example, to get the Z1, yung pinaka-boundary natin, let's say, we have yung pinaka 48.5. Itong ano kasi is the mean. Di ba? That is the sample mean, di ba? Divided by the standard deviation. Yung standard deviation natin, ito yung divided by square root of n. Kung nare-recall nyo kanina. No? So, basically, yun yung ating magiging pinaka ano, formula, no? And to determine the Z scores, meron kang negative 1.90 and 190 to determine the Z scores, no? Or the Z values with the critical values of 51.5. Ito kasi yung mga critical values. Okay? Now, alam naman natin, no, guys, na kapag kinuha mo yung area, for example, of this one, ito kasi, may area kasi to, hindi na pinakita dito kasi pwede tayong gumamit ng integral calculus here. Although given na siya, no? Kumbaga sa ano, ito yung alpha 2 is equivalent to, yan yung kapag kinuha mo by integral. Okay, parang ano yan, no? Nakaganyan, di ba? Okay, may integral yan, no? So, kinukuha yung area niyan. And basically, yan ay 0.0287. Yan yung na-compute. So, ganoon din dito. So, pag, syempre, dahil symmetry yan, di 0.0287 dito. Kapag minultiply mo, ito yung 0.05. So, meron ka ng 0.0574. Yan yung pinaka-significant level mo. No? Okay? So, basically, yan ay using the Z test. Now, as we continue, sabi dito, implies 5.74 of all random samples would lead to rejection of the hypothesis, meaning to say 50 centimeter per second when the true burning rate is really 50 centimeter per second. Okay, so now, pwede naman tayong mag-reduce, mag-widen na acceptance region. So, ang minanipulate dito, no, para ma-reduce yung alpha natin, is by adjusting the critical values. So, na-adjust natin by 48 and 52. So, nagkaroon tayo ng ano, originally, ito yung nakuha, no? Ngayon, nakikita din natin dito, the impact din ng sample size. Binago naman natin, imbis na 10, ginawa natin 16. So, nagbago rin yung ating, ano, yung pinaka Z-scores natin, no? So, nagbago rin yung ating, ano, yung ating significant level na originally 0.05. Okay, so ngayon dito, as we know, no, doon sa probability of type 2 error naman, we are, kasi diba dalawang klase error natin? Alpha yung isa. Oh, yung isa alpha. Itong alpha, yan yung P type 1 error or equivalent to P. Ito naman, reject HO when HO is true. So, yun yung type 1 error. Ang type 2 naman, fail to reject when HO is false. Okay, it will help us to calculate the probability of type of error beta, the normal distribution on the left in the distribution of the statistics. Okay, dito, when the null hypothesis is true, kaya meron tayong expression, no, is equivalent to 50. Okay, tapos yung alternatives not equal to 50, pwedeng greater than or less than. Okay, so ngayon nagkakaroon tayo ng ano, ng assumption dito, no? Now as we continue, okay, ito yung mathematical expression kung ko-compare natin do sa formula, ganyan gumamit ako ng 52, no? So yung aking ano, beta 0.26. Yan ay sa Z, no? Z test, no? Okay, so basically dito you can see that in the test of statistical hypothesis, we are comparing the one is yung ating pinaka sample mean na 50, the other one is 52. Then by comparison, you can see the may overlapping, no? Yun yung ating pinaka test statistical hypothesis. Okay, as we continue then also, as we know, that the probability of making type 2 error increases rapidly, no, as the mu approaches the hypothesis value. Okay? So now, as we further continue pa, ayan, no, nagkaroon tayo ng significant level na 0.8923. Yan ay ginagamit na din natin. Pero usually, ginigiven naman yan, no, yung level of significance. Okay, so here is a probability of the type 2 error. So, pag type 2 error, masasabi naman natin, you fail to reject the HO when it is false, no? Okay. So, I hope na yan ay klaro, no? So, ayun guys, what is the effect of the sample size on beta? If you are comparing 50 and 52, no, i-compare lang natin. So, makikita nyo dito naman guys, nagkakaroon tayo ng yan yung 52 and n is equal to 16. So, binago naman natin yung sample size. So, ano yung ating dyan? When n is equal to 16, yung Z1 at Z2 natin, okay, nagkaroon tayo ng ibang values na originally 26.43. May konting adjustment. So, increasing the sample size, decreasing the probability. So, yung pala paraan. Para naman pala, kasi yung probability type to error, yung beta, no, na pag sinabi nating type 2 error, beta is equivalent to, di ba? So, most likely kapag you increase the sample size, it will decrease the probability of type 2. Which sa case na ito, okay, so sa case na ito, makikita nyo dito na in the sample size results decrease in the probability of type 2 error. Okay? So I think yan yung isa sa mga pwede nating maging palatandaan, no? Or something like dapat na maging maintindihan natin, no? Kasi mahalaga yan sa analysis. Ano mo, tinanong kayo, paano mo makikita, no? Paano mo madidecrease yung type 2 error? You need to increase the sample size. Now, if we decrease the sample size, pwede pa pala mag-increase ng probability error. Pag sinabi nating probability type 2, you are failing to reject H sub O or failing to reject null hypothesis when it is false. So basically, ganun ang nangyayari. No? Okay. So as we continue, okay, so ito yung results nung ibang calculation. So makikita nyo dito sa acceptance region, no? Nag-vary tayo ng mga critical values. And nagkaroon din tayo ng mga pag-increase ng sample size from 10 to 16. As well as having different significant level and even beta, alpha and beta. We can see the values, no, nakikita natin dito. And yun nga, dito, no, to decrease type 2 error, you need to increase the sample size. No? You need to decrease the sample size. No, to decrease the error ng type 2, no? Okay. So the results in boxes were not parang hindi pa naman siya na-calculated, no? Anyway, so the results in the block were not calculated. The display and the discussion reveal 4 important points. So ano yung mga dapat dating malaman dyan? That the size of the critical region, yun yung boundary, nagba-boundary natin, no? And consequently, the probability of type 1 error, alpha, can always be reduced by appropriate selection of the critical value. So, pwede natin i-manipulate. Type 1 and type 2 errors are related. A decrease in the probability 1 always results in increase in the probability of the other, provided that the sample size n does not change. And an increase in sample size reduces beta. Yan yung tandaan nyo, no? Provided that alpha is held constant. Now, sabi ko nga, pag ang null hypothesis ay false, beta increases. No? When the null hypothesis is false, beta increases. As the true value of the parameter approaches the value hypothesis in the null hypothesis. Now, kapag binawasan mo naman yung beta, the difference between the true mean and hypothesis value increases. So, nakikita natin yung relationship. Okay, as we continue, nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng strong conclusion and mahalaga to. When we are deciding, tandaan nyo, pag sinabi natin na statistical test, ah okay, pag sinabi natin na statistical test, no? Generally, the type 1 error probability when he or she selects the critical values. So, usually, it is usually easy for the analyst. Tayo yung nag-analyze to. Kaya mas preferred talaga, masasabi natin na preferred ng mga analysts to set the type 1 error probability at or near any desired value. Why? What is the reason? Because since the analyst can directly control the probability of the wrongly rejecting HO, we always think of rejection of the non-hypothesis as strong conclusion. No? Kasi nga, sabi ko nga, kapag pag sabi kasi yung tinatawag na type 1 error, di ba? The hypothesis is you fail to reject the null when it is true. Di ba? Di ba? Unlike sa type 2 error, you reject the null hypothesis when it is false. Mas madali nga naman yung type 1 error. Kasi nga, as an analyst, mas madali nating makontrol yung probability of wrongly rejecting HO kesa yung tama yung HO. Diba? Kaya masasabi natin, using type 1 error, we always think of rejection of the null as a strong conclusion. Now, what are the methods in hypothesis testing? May tinatawag tayo na fixed significance. May tinatawag din naman tayo na widely used procedure is type 1 error. Tandaan nyo, no? That is a widely used na gumagamit tayo ng alpha na equivalent to 0.05. Okay? Common yan, yung 0.05, no? Although, yung type 2 error kasi, depends on the true value. It also depends on the sample size that we have selected. Because the type 2 error probability is a function of the both sample size and the extent to which the null is false. No? Tandaan niya, no? Di ba sa type 2, sasabi natin kapag type 2 error, you fail to, reject the null hypothesis when it is false. That is a weak conclusion. Unless we know that beta is acceptably small, di ba? Di ba? So, fail to reject is preferred than accept HO. Di ba? So, yun yung nakikita natin. Pero does necessarily mean that high probability HO is true. Okay, so it may simply mean that more data are required to reach a strong conclusion. So nakikita na natin sa analysis kasi nagde-decide tayo. No, tandaan niyo, no? Although meron tayong 1 minus beta, yung tinatawag na probability of correctly rejecting the false null hypothesis. Or that is the power of the statistical test. Rejecting the null when the alternative is true. Okay, so yun yung mga Ngayon, alam naman natin kanina, no? Siguro magbibigay ako ng example na ngayon when it comes to hypothesis, no? Kasi sabi nga, meron tayong one-sided, two-sided. May mga left-tailed, right-tailed, two-tailed. Usually sa t-test, magbigay ako ng example siguro. Sige, we can now proceed to the example. Okay, wait lang ha. Okay. Let's try to have an example here. So wait lang. Okay. Dito tayo sa susunod na example. Okay, so now, ang una kong pag-aaralan natin ngayon is the t-test. Okay, meron sa t-test, meron tayong tinatawag na one sample and two sample, no? So dito muna tayo sa one sample t-test. Okay. So dito, we are determining the sample versus population mean. Okay, so magbigay tayo ng example, no? Let's say, problem number 1 para maintindihan natin, no? Okay, so a company claims its batteries last 40 hours. So, ngayon, itatry natin i-solve, no? Okay, tapos a sample of 15 batteries of 15 batteries. Let's say, alam ba, nagbigyan na tayo ng mean. Although kinukompute to, no? Pero bibigay ko muna dito. 44.9 hours. Tapos, bigyan na rin natin yung standard deviation na 8.9 hours. Is tested at 0.05 level, significance level. Where alpha is 0.05. Now, ang tanong, does it exceed 40 hours? Okay, so sabi ko nga, hindi tayo sasagot based on opinions or based on hearsays, but based on facts. So para natin gagawin yan, we should be using yung steps of hypothesis testing. So the step 1, determine the null and alternative hypothesis. Yan yung isa sa mga unang-unang hinahanap, hypothesis. So alam naman natin yung symbol ng null, et sub O, et sub A naman si alternative. Let's say si et sub O. Okay, sabi dito, a company claims that its batteries last 40 hours. Pwedeng equal or pwedeng mas mababa. Tama, no? Kaya pwede ko sabihin ng et sub O ko, nagde-declare na that is less than or equal to 40. Bakit kasama si less than or equal? Kasi last 40 hours, pwedeng mas mababa. Pwedeng 35, pwedeng 30 hours, hanggang 40 hours. Kaya equal to 40. Ano naman yung et sub A natin? Ibig sabihin, pwedeng mas, yung alternative niyan, mas mataas diyan. Equivalent to greater than 40. So ngayon, determine the calculate na using t-test. Using the appropriate test statistics. So usually, ano ba yung mga example ng mga test statistics? Pwedeng Z, T. Kaso, kung tingnan natin dito, no, ang N natin kasi dito is 15, which is less than 30. Kapag less than 30, t-test tayo. So therefore, kung tapos ano lang naman, di ba? Ang kinukuha kasi dito, kiniklaim niya, kumbaga ito yung null eh. Ito yung claim natin. Ito naman yung yung complement. Kabaliktaran ng H sub O. So now, if n is equal to 30 or n less than 30, t-test tayo. Ano ba yung formula for the t-test? For the formula for the t-test, mu, uh, I think, ang unang-unang natin kukunin dyan, I think one of the formula for the t-test is this one. The mean minus the mu, yun yung kukunin natin divided by the S D over square root of N. So, ito ginagamit for one sample. Okay, so ano ba yung T natin? Natin dyan, no? Meron kasi two sample, mamaya mabigay ko yung example, no? Yung T natin, ito yung t-test. So, sa example na ito, yung ating mean, yung 44.9, given na. Tapos yung mu natin, yun yung kiniklaim natin na 40. Pwedeng less than or equal to 40, di ba? Then the standard deviation natin is 8.9 divided by the square root of the sample size na 15. So therefore, kung ika-calculator ko to, I think approximately, paki-check na lang kung tama yung aking nasa calculator na hawak, 2.12. So yan yung aking yan yung aking nakuhang value. Now, pagkatapos natin na mag-calculate, kunin natin yung tinatawag na the degrees of freedom. Kasi ito, kung mapapansin nyo, kung yung step 1 is the hypothesis, ito kasi, hypothesis to eh. Waga, bigyan natin ng konting mabilis, hypothesis to. Si step 2 naman, ito yung calculation. Ngayon, yung sa pagkuha ko ng degrees of freedom, ito yung decision making. Gagamitin na natin sa degrees of freedom. No? Ito ginagamit for decision making. Yang mga yan. No? So ang degrees of freedom natin is n minus 1. Meron kang 15 minus 1. Tapos titingin ka doon sa table. I think meron tayong table. Kasi titikiran natin yung critical, look for the critical T value at 0.05. No? Yun ang ating kukunin. No? So I think we can check here. Siguro pwede naman ako dito sa Google or something like that, no? Okay, so let me Okay. New window tayo, ayan. Okay, so lagyan natin dito yung yung t-test table. Ayun, no? So makita natin dito, no, sa t-test table, sa internet ko na kinuha, no? Naman siya? Nandito yung t-test table, ayan. Makikita mo dito, guys, no? Ayan. Yung nga lang, hindi no? Ko lang, no? Clear ko lang muna. Okay. So, kung ito yung degrees of freedom, tapos ito yung significance level. Ngayon, usually, no, ginagamit natin to, yung degrees of table, no, to look for the uh, uh, value. Ngayon, kung ito ay one-tailed, ang ginagamit natin muna, kasi may tinatawag na two-tailed saka one-tailed, directional. Pag two-tailed, may less than or greater than. No? Kapag naman two-tailed, non-directional. Okay, so take note of that, no? Ngayon, kung titingnan natin tong table, critical, ito yung ginagamit natin for one-tailed test. So, syempre, degrees of freedom tayo. Check nyo muna kung one-tailed. So, kung one-tailed, ang nakuha natin is 14, tingin ka doon sa 0.05. So ano yung nakuha nating value for the critical value? I think sa 14, 1.76. 1.76, no? So therefore, if we will go back to the nakuha natin dito, no? I-back lang natin yan. Meron tayo dito na ano, na critical value na nakuha na uh, yung T natin is 1.76 based on the table. Ngayon, tingnan natin. Magkaroon tayo ng comparison kasi nasa decision making na tayo. Iko-compare natin yung nakuha natin sa ano, yung ating calculated is 2.12. Yung okay, 2.12 to, no. Tapos yung ating ano, yung ating critical T is 1.76. Obviously, makikita natin na 2.12 is greater than 1.76. So ano magiging decision natin? Mukhang mare-reject natin yung null hypothesis. Kasi the mean battery likely exceeds 40 hours. So ano yung decision natin? Ito yung decision ko. Kasi since the calculated value exceeds exceeds the critical value, the null hypothesis is rejected. Therefore, ano tinatanggap natin ngayon? Masasabi natin na yung main battery likely exceeds 40 hours. Kaya kung titingin ka dun sa pinaka normal distribution curve, napansin naman natin na yung ating value na 1.76, hanggang dito kasi yung critical value natin. Kasi ito yung ano, ito yung critical value natin na 1.76. Nandito ka. Ito yung 2.12. So nasa rejected region ka. Rejected to. Ito accepted. Wala ka sa accepted. Kung ang nakuha mo 1.73, accepted ka. Kaso dahil sa rejected ka, kumbaga, i-reject natin yung null. Ang null kasi nito, kiniklaim niya na less than or equal to 40 hours lang yung battery. Which is, in true pala, hindi. So, false ang claim nito. False yung claim niya. No? Kasi, dahil false ang claim niya, dapat, para walang error, i-reject natin. Kasi pag in-accept mo yan, magkaka-error ka. Type 2 error ang tawag doon. Okay? So, that is an example of the t-test na ginagamit yan sa mga research. Okay? So, take note of this formula. Huwag yung kalilimutan to, no? The formula of the, pag nagre-research kayo, itong formula ng t-test. Okay? So, ngayon, ayan. That is the formula. Okay, another example. Gagamit naman tayo ng ano, ng t-test pero two sample. Two sample independent t-test. Independent t-test. Okay, siguro bigyan ko na yung formula para malaman natin o yung pinaka-problem muna tapos saka natin ilagyan ng mga formula. Let's say, compare weights. Ito, guys, ginagamit to kapag may comparison ka. So, nagko-compare ka ngayon ng weights of newborns. From two hospitals. Okay. So, let's say sa Hospital A, ito yung naging measurement. N is equivalent to 20. Tapos meron tayong mean na 7.5 pounds. May mga pagkakataon kayo kukuha ng mean, no? So ngayon, kumbaga parang ah, para mabilis tayo, naka-given na. Pero there are times that kayo kukuha minsan, no? Siyempre, from the data, naka-random data, ayusin natin sa kukunin yung mean sa standard deviation. Okay. Ito naman si Hospital B. Let's say N is equivalent to 20. Pero X is 7.1 pounds. Then S, the standard deviation is 1.22. Take note, we are comparing this uh, at, no? Let's say at ano to, at uh, significance level of 0.05. Okay, so yun yung problem. So ano yung steps? Hypothesis. O, di mag-hypothesis na tayo. Kasi ito yung problem eh. O, ito yung pinaka basic, kumbaga pinaka simplified steps. Mag-hypothesis testing ka na. Okay, so ano ba yung hypothesis mo? Mag-declare ka kaagad. Ano ba yung null hypothesis? Di ba? So dito, kiniklaim niya dito, no? Let's say, no, masasabi natin na kino-compare natin yung A and B. So, compare with the newborn of the two hospital. So, ang null hypothesis mo dito, masasabi natin na si mean, no, ng ating sample mean natin is equivalent to the sample mean ng B. Okay. Yan yung ating mean, no? Therefore, yung aking H sub A is magsasabi na not equal. Now, calculation na tayo, second step. Kasi tatlo lang naman yan actually. Ay, apat siya. Problem, hypothesis, calculation, decision making. O yun yung pinaka-basic na step. O ano yung formula? Okay, kapag two sample, T is x sub 1 minus x sub 2. So these are both mean. Then divided by kung di ako nagkakamali, that is the uh, SE, no? Or two sample or standard deviation din natin, no? Na binibigay, no? To solve problems. So now to determine that, no? Dito sa kasi ito ginagamit as two sample. Okay, now ito yung formula niyan, no? Para malaman niyo, no? For the T, yung mean natin ng una is 7.5 minus 7.1. So ano ba yung SE natin, no? Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, yan yung gagamitin natin, no? To solve for the, so parang ano yun eh, summation, no? So parang square root. Kasi itong S sub E natin is square root of ano ito eh, yung ating standard deviation divided by uh, N1 plus the, di ba? Ito yung 1, ito yung 2. N2, no? So, yun yung gagamitin natin, no? To solve the problem. Okay, now, as we know that the standard deviation of 1 is 0.82 divided by 20 plus yung isa naman is 1.22 divided by 20. Ngayon, kapag kinuha ko sa calculator ko, approximately, paki-check yung aking magiging answer dyan. Sa aking calculator, ang lumalabas ay, let me check, no? 1.77. Okay, so meron tayong calculated. Now, dito ka na sa part ng decision. Okay, sa decision, ang pinaka-step mo dyan, degrees of freedom. Pero paano ba ang formula kapag 2 sample. Ito yung formula pag 2 sample. Pag 2 sample, sa degrees of freedom, df is n1 plus n2 minus 2. So, kasi di ba sa n1, n minus 1 lang kanina eh. Ito, minus 2. Yan yung magiging formula natin kapag degrees of freedom. No? So, we will be adding, ano ba yung sample size parehas? 20. 2020 is for 30, ano ba to? 38, no? 38. So, yan yung ating magiging calculation, no? So, therefore, ang ating degrees of freedom here, 20 plus 20 minus 2. So, the degrees of freedom is 38. Now, pagkatapos ito, kunin mo yung ano, yung critical. Critical. Kasi check natin ngayon kung mag-exceed ba or hindi doon sa ano sa graph, no? Critical value, no, ng t at 0.05 na significant level na given. So, tirang nga natin dito sa ano. Ayan. I-clear ko muna. Ang 38 based dito, no? Okay, so pag ganito guys, no? Kung di ako nagkakamali, no? Yung 38 kasi nasa ano ba to? 38. At doon na tayo sa di ba meron dalawang klase yan. O, dito ka na sa part ng saan nga ba yung may ano? Dalawa kasi two-tailed ito, two-tailed ito. Dapat doon kasi dalawa yun eh. So titingin ka ngayon sa table ng ano yung pang two-tailed na ba to? Two-tailed to. So dito na tayo sa yan. Two-tailed na to, no? So yung pinakamalapit 0.05. Okay, so ngayon, kung titira natin mabuti, no? If you will look yung ating critical value 2.0 yung pinakamalapit, no? Wala ba yung exact? Natin, yung mas maganda may exact. Pero pag ganyan kasi, dapat ano na tayo, 40 yan eh, kung tutuusin, no? Pero baka may makita pa tayo yung exact value. Wait lang. Hanapin natin yung may exact. Ng 2. At ito natin may exact. Check natin. Yan. Ito. So kung wala, doon tayo sa pinakamalapit, no? 0.05. Ito, pag ganito, yan 0.05. Sa two-tailed, ito yung 0.05 ng two-tailed. Significant level. So 2.021, no? Yung pinakamalapit. Pero sa akin dito, yung nakuha kong level, ito may exact, no? Meron kasi exact, pwede mo 2.024. Pero pwede rin naman na yan, no? Wala naman problema yan. Halos malapit na yan. Sabihin natin yung 2.024 or 21. Ito yung ano ito yung pinakamalapit diyan. Ngayon, kapag ganito ang itsura ng table, tingin ka dito. So, one tail o dito tayo two tail. Ano ba yung ginagamit natin? 0.05. So, ipagtapat mo to. Ayan. O pwede mong gamitin to. So, yung degrees of freedom na 40, meron siyang equivalent na sa TIA at two-tailed to, two-tailed. Na yan ay 0.05%. Meron siyang 2.021. Pero merong, kung nakikita ka, no, ang 38 kasi is 2.024. Ito nakukuha by calculation din. No? Pero hindi na tayo kasi IT kayo, no? Or kung ano mang course niyo. Pag engineering, pwede. No? Pwede. Pag engineering kasi pwede talaga na ipa-compute talaga yan, no? Gumagamit pa nga sila ng calculus, no? Pero sa ngayon, we can use here or ito, no? Kasi ang problema, ang kailangan lang naman natin dito is malaman natin yung critical value. Saka yung test na nakuha natin. Sige. So let me ano no, let me undo kasi tayo ay mag co-compute ulit. So gamitin natin 2.0, 24 or 21. Wala namang problema. Okay, so balik tayo dito. So meron tayo dito na ano na 2.021. Okay, so ngayon nakuha natin critical value nito. That is 2 points approximately, no? 0.24. O kung 21, walang problema naman, no? Now, kailangan natin i-compare yung dalawang values, yung computed. Si calculated natin is less than the critical value. O ano bang indication yan? Kapag ginarap mo ito yung 1.77. Ito yung T. Tapos ito yung ano, 2 point, ito yung critical value na 2.024. So ngayon, tandaan nyo, no? Kung titingnan natin to kasing mabuti, no, sa decision making, ah makikita natin no na we fail to reject. So ina-accept natin bakit pasok siya dun sa ano. Kasi alam niyo ba from here, kasi ito yung ating ano yan. Ito yung mare-reject siya eh. No, most likely kung ito ay 0 or 1, di ba? Nasa negative ulit yung ano, kumbaga sa ano, kung magbi-mirror image ka, nandito sa negative 2.2024, yung magre-rejection ulit. So ngayon, pasok ito. So nasa loob ka ng accepted. Ito kasi, kapag nandito ka sa region ito, accepted. So therefore, anong masasabi natin? Pwede natin sabihin na tama yung team natin na we fail to reject et sub O. Meaning no significant difference. Ibig sabihin, ang decision natin dito, no significant difference. Accept et sub O or fail to reject et sub O. So yun yung ating decision making using the two uh, sample t-test, no? Using this value para mas madali nating maintindihan. So ang ginamit natin dito is gumamit tayo ng statistic to sample, tapos tinignan natin yung critical value, yung kanyang p-value from distribution table, then nag-compare tayo. No? Kapag nakita natin less than yung calculated sa critical, yan ay accepted. Pero kung naman yan ay mas malaki, nakikita natin sa critical value, dun pa lang natin masasabi na rejected. Kasi ito, rejected region to. Yung nasa, mas maigit pa sa 2.024. And again, so that is the topic that we are discussing when it comes to the t-test. No? In again, one sample and two sample. Okay, so sa mga susunod na steps, we will be discussing z-test, ANOVA, chi-square, na yan yung mga masasabi nating important topics when it comes to hypothesis testing. So I think we can now stop. Very important na na-discuss na natin yung mga importanteng topic. We can siguro adjourn, okay, our lesson. So let me stop the recording. Okay.